Good morning students, I am Shomajit sir. Today I am here to deliver my lecture on chapter Morphology of Flowering Plants. We'll start this chapter of Morphology of Flowering Plants and discuss about the topic roots. So watch the entire lecture to get basics out of it. So without any delay, let's start with the topic roots from the chapter Morphology of Flowering Plants. So let's start. So let's start the chapter Morphology of Flowering Plants. You can see a beautiful flower diagram I've given. So you can see the entire plant is given there. The roots are there, stems are there, leaf are there, flower there. We'll discuss this one by one in different classes. So first is a morphology. What is a morphology? Morphology is study of external forms of organism. The external structure of any organism is called morphology. And angiosperm, that is flowering plants, are characterized by the presence of roots, stems, leaves, flowers and fruit. Alright. So angiosperm, that is the flowering plant, has root, stems, flowers, leaves and fruits. So main parts of the flowering plants are root system and shoot system. So root system is present underground, while the shoot system is present above the ground. Alright. So you can see in the figure left hand side, below the soil is a root system and above the soil is a shoot system. Alright. So let's start with the topic roots. We'll discuss in detail about the root. So what is root? It is the underground part formed from radicle of the embryo. You can see a radical structure is given. So root is formed from the radicle of an embryo. In an embryo there are radicle and plumule. So plumule give rise to shoot system, whereas radicle give rise to root system. So we are discussing about roots. So you see radicle that give rise to root system. And how many there are different types of root system. So one is tap root system, fibrous root system and adventitious root system. So you can see the diagrams: tap root system, fibrous root system and adventitious root system. Right. Now let's come to the type of root. First we'll study tap root system. So tap root system, it consists of primary roots, that is tap root, and it branches, that is lateral roots such as secondary roots and tertiary roots. Alright. So tap root, it consists of a primary root, that is a tap root, and then the branches are called lateral roots such as secondary and tertiary roots, and it is seen in dicots or dicotyledonous. And primary root is elongated from radicle. The primary root is elongated from the radicle. Example we can see in mustard plant. You can see right hand side the figure is given. The primary root is given, the lateral root is given. Right. So you can see a mustard plant. Next, moving to fibrous root system. So in monocotyledonous, again I repeat, let's move to a fibrous root system. In monocotyledonous, the primary root is short-lived and is replaced by a large number of roots. Alright. So the primary roots are short-lived and are replaced by a large number of roots, and these roots originate from the base of the stem to form fibrous root system. Example you can see wheat. There are numerous roots are there. Those are called fibrous root. Now moving to a adventitious root system. So roots that arise from the parts other than radicle. Alright. So what are adventitious roots? Those roots that arise from the parts other than that of radicle. Example you can see grass, a banyan tree. Alright. Example you can see right hand side, the adventitious root. Now we'll see the different regions of root. So we have a root cap. Alright, we have a root cap, a region of meristematic activity, region of elongation, region of maturation and root hair. So you can see the figure right hand side, the root cap is there, region of elongation is there, region of maturation is there, root hair is there, region of meristematic activity is there. Now root cap. What is a root cap? It is the covering at the apex of root. It protects the tender apex of the root. Right. So it is the covering at the apex of the root and it protects the tender apex of the root. Root cap is the last position of a root. Right, or the starting position of a root, from where root starts, or the covering of roots is the root cap. You can see the figure. So let's move to next slide. We'll see regions of the root. All right, first we'll see regions of meristematic activity. So you can see this is seen in above the root cap. So region of meristematic activity is seen above the root cap. Here the cells are very small, thin walled and with dense protoplasm, and they are divided, or they divide repeatedly. All right, these cells divide repeatedly. You can see root cap is the terminal portion, followed by region of elongation, then root hair and region of maturation. All right, now I move to region of elongation. So the region just above the meristematic region. All right, so so the region just above the meristematic region is the region of elongation. This region just above, this is the region that is just above the meristematic region. Here cells undergo rapid elongation and enlargement, and these help in growth of root in length. All right, so region of elongation helps the root for growth in length. Next, move to region of maturation. All right, so this region of maturation is just above the region of elongation. So the region proximal to elongation zone, here the cells differentiate and mature. Now moving to root hairs. What are root hairs? You can see root hairs. They are very fine, delicate, thread-like structures formed from epidermal cells in region behind the region of elongation, right? And they absorb water and mineral from the soil. So these root hairs absorbs water and mineral from the soil. Now let's see the modification, different modifications of root. You can see the modification of roots. We'll study about the in different classes modification stem and leaf. So here we are discussing the topic roots, so we'll see the modification of root. So in some plants, roots are modified to perform functions other than absorption and conduction, right? So roots also perform different functions other than absorption and conduction. Example, swollen roots for food storage, prop roots, silt root and pneumatophores. All right, so example, we have swollen root for food storage, prop roots, silt roots and pneumatophores. So example of taproot or taproot of carrot, turnips and adventitious root of sweet potato. You can see carrot, sweet potato, turnips. So example, taproot of carrot, turnips and adventitious root of sweet potato. These are swollen roots for food storage. Now we can see the example of prop roots. It's a hanging structure that supports a banyan tree. Alright, these are prop roots. Next we can see stilt roots. So the supporting roots coming out from the lower nodes of the stem. Example, we can see this in maize and sugar cane. All right, so its example is maize and sugar cane. Next we see pneumatophores. What are pneumatophores? You can see the roots coming above the soil. These are geotrophic, not geotrophic. All right, it is not geotrophic. They are moving against the gravity. So the roots that come out of the ground and grow vertically upwards to get oxygen for respiration. Example, rhizophora growing in swampy areas. Example, you can see rhizophora, a mangrove. Pneumatophores are seen. Now let's move to the functions of roots. So there are different functions of roots. All right, there are different functions of roots. Again, I repeat the different functions of root. One is absorption of water and mineral from the soil, provide proper anchorage to plant parts, storage of reserve food material, and synthesis of plant growth regulators. So these are the functions of root. One is absorption, anchorage, storage, another is synthesis of plant growth regulators. Thank you, student. This was all about the interview lecture. We have discussed about the topic roots, and this is from the chapter morphology of flowering plants. So I'm somebody is signing off for today, and again we'll meet in the next class. Thank you, students.